This is the second time this season that these NFC rivals will square off, and it promises to be a good one. It always is when these two divisional foes get together, especially the second time around when there's a score to settle from game one. It's the Eagles going up against the Redskins. With that, let's get up to FedEx Field. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Oh, nice move. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Again, they run with Sims. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
Play fake. Cousins. He finds Quinn. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, they're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going. Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
Hey. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it again with Sims. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
To throw, Cousins. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Wentz now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook had.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And here's the Redskin defense.
Josh Norman was not a first-round pick when he entered the NFL, but he always thought he should be. Never lacked for confidence, and now he plays at a Pro Bowl level.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. And the play clock's running down. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they run with Sims. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Caught on the right side, Reed. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And the offense in that middle ground here on third down, 5 yards to go.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And this is going to be incomplete.
Holding offense.
So now on fourth down, Jay Gruden will call on his field goal unit. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Forbath will put this one through, and it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. We get a glance at the Redskins defense as they go back out there now. And an important stop in a tight game their last time.
Always important to stop them. We know that. But as you noted, in a tight...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Torrey Smith, 77 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. We focus our attention now on the Eagles' defense. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. First down, here's Cousins. Pryor has it complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run here with Sims. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up.
Throwing is Cousins. A dump off to Sims. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gets him to first before he's brought down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Sims. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Sims. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. So they're going to go for 2.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Start right there. Now that's good.
Wentz going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
We put our attention now on the Eagles' defense. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Paul bringing it in. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So the grab there by the defense, the holding penalty called. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. And he'll give it here to his running back. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Here's Jones, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They've got his man complete. A gain of 32 that time. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
False start, offense.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It's brought in by Doxson. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Doxson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he
Alshon Jeffrey, past the 20, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Eagles add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
No move for the kicker. They'll still go for 2, this time from the 12. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Well, the penalty takes him all the way back to the 12. You don't see many two-point conversions that go in from the 12, do you?
No, you really don't. But in a strange way, it actually opens up the field a little bit. Maybe expands what you can call on offense, and they took advantage of it.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle.
And Sims lost it. He lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made a... Passive has it. I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game. And they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word against symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Able to find Pryor. Touchdown, Washington. Terrell Pryor, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any weight.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 97 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Here comes the Eagles defense. They work their way back onto the field. They were picked apart really on that last drive through the air. Now 2 touchdowns against some of the passing variety here in this first half.
And momentum totally going against them right now. One way to shift it, a big sack or some sort of a takeaway. They've got to find a way to get back in balance in this game because right now they're under siege.
Yeah, they're a little bit shaken. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Cousins on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And now it's second down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So they got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A first down throw for Cousins. Surveying the field. And this is caught at the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. And the lead will shrink to 6. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. He's going to try and go deep again. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way up to the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Wentz eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He's got time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Green 39.
The slot man in motion right.
Detroit.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. So we've reached... And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
He's going to take another shot here. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Holding. Defense.
So the defensive holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Wentz now to throw. His throw incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what the
blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. And the former 4th-round pick in 2012 continuing to prove some of those doubters wrong that he used to have.
I remember when he got selected, there was a lot of controversy about that because remember, Robert Griffin III, they made the big move up to take him in the first round. And people wonder, why would you take a second rookie quarterback? Well, it's because he's smart, he studies hard, he prepares, he's ready to play. And now he's commanding the respect of his team and playing at a really high level.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
And on the ground they go with a running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2. Touchdown so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact...
And this is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, 33 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Charles Sims, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, are almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
We focus our attention on the Redskins defense now. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you play, did you like being out there defensively to start? Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Defense.
And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense is really having its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here's the option going right. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
On third down, Cousins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Jordan Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game.
Well, the raw sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line.
Special teams coaches spend a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
They go back to the air here after the INT. They've got his man complete. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Ricardo Allen with a pick.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here we go.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last...
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the...
And he's going to be taken down. He's sacked on the final play of back now at FedEx Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Watch it now, Marty. Set. Green, 39.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And he motions the wide receiver. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Fresh set of downs here. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
Do you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terrell Pryor with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Alshon Jeffrey, the 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 95 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for 2. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
but it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Niles Paul, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it, and right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like they're...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 69 yards. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. That's caught at the 1. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And that score gives us our 6th lead change of the game.
Are we back on the playground on the seesaw?
Well, a seesaw battle,
right?
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down. What a game we've watched here.
It's been fun. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him for a loss of 5. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
3rd and long for Cousins. And in Incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Taken from just outside the 30. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And out now come the Eagles. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposite. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Here we go now. Detroit! Detroit!
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now Wentz being chased out left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's on. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Redskins have made this a 1-score game.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Wentz to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A gain of 6 there on first. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. Doesn't even need to be a breakdown.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances. Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And now the spike comes with 28 seconds left on the clock. So 2nd and 10 here. Shift together here from the D-line. 2nd down, Cousins. A dump off to Sims. And he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Cousins now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cousins again. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.